The Mexicans' favorite president, Bill Clinton. Current president, Barack Obama. The people's president, in my opinion, John F. Kennedy. And the youth's popular president and popular Democratic candidate, the man with the receding hairline, Mr. Bernie Sanders. These are just some of the few people that have popularized the Democratic Party. Democracy is a term and a form of government in which the power of the government solely lies through the people or through freely representation. Talking about democracy, I will be talking about three major points of what transpired for the Democratic Party and democracy as well. One being how the Democratic Party started. Two, some of the issues that democracy and the people that represent the Democratic Party have faced. And finally, talk about how it's been an impactful thing for the American, not just for the people. One, democracy first started out as a term back in 1832. Democracy, back then we had the Federalists, we had the Whigs Party. The first time the term democracy was ever used was when Andrew Jackson became president in 1832. This was a major rising from people like the Federalists, from people that wanted to be represented equally in the government. And my second point is that this party was basically from farmers, from the working class, just most of our parents and most of us, having an equal say in what we want to believe. The second backlash was that after one party starts, you're gonna have a second retaliation. From the Democratic Party, we had the rise of the Republican Party that also started around 1832, and that's the beginning and the genesis of what the Democratic Party started. Now transitioning to my second point, a lot of Democrats and democracy face a lot of issues. Just like us, we have our own issues. Democracy faces many issues, and one of the issues that it takes is the war on immigration. This country was founded on immigration. When we think about immigration, who are the first immigrants, technically, to the United States? The Pilgrims. The Pilgrims migrated seeking religious freedom away from the Crown of Britain. And with immigration comes with many diverse cultures. We take different cultures and implement them in our personal lives. We see it in Cal State LA. We see it in our own personal backyards. So with the war on immigration, according to Democrats.org, if a person is a well-respected and well-rounded immigrant, they must comply with the law, admit that they broke the law, pay taxes and a penalty, and they will be on the path to obtain citizenship. Now, okay, now that I've talked about my second point, now we'll finally transition to its influence that it has on the people. Many people believe that democracy is a great way of achieving success for many people. It's a time where we could speak our voice, speak our minds, speak our opinions, and according to peoplepress.org, when women are more likely to be a Democrat as by the percentage of 52 to 36. So basically half of these girls in this class would probably register Democrat for the upcoming election, as opposed to just say one would be a Republican in this class. Another thing is the impact that democracy has had over the years with people has been with a man called Cornel West. Cornel West wrote a book called Democracy Matters back in 2004. In his book, he states that democracy is not just needed for the people of the United States, but to destroy imperialism around globally. Many nations don't even have the voice to have voting rights. Many people are deprived of that. The only people that could vote or even have a say in the government are men. Women are deprived of that, and many nations come and try to conquest many other countries as much as possible. So in his book, he really emphasizes the point where democracy has to be the focal point of not just the United States, so everyone could have a powerful voice in their own government, but to have it abroad so that many people don't suffer and be shunned and be censored. Now that I talked about my three main points, now I must bring this to a close. Democracy has been very influential since 1832. We saw its rise. We saw the rise of the Democratic Party. We see the current issues that we face. Many of us are leaning towards democracy because a lot of us have many voices and many opinions to share. We really want this nation to be founded on principles that benefit not just us but everyone in general. Just much like Bernie Sanders' approach to free education, legalizing marijuana for medical purposes. Everyone wants to be equal at some point in time, not be oppressed anymore. And finally, its impact is basically everything that we see around us today. Most of us are fortunate to go to college. Most of us are fortunate to have the right to vote, and that's something that many people can't take. And now, to bring this to a close, I challenge you guys to go seek something that challenges you, what makes you question and understand life a little bit more.